Hello students, this is the continuation of chapter number 1, that is networking concepts, and in the last class we have discussed about the computer system, or what we call computer network and its component. We have also discussed about the advantages of networking, transmission of data through the network, and wired networking technology. So in today's content, we will discuss about the wireless networking technology, types of network, and the different networking devices that are used for computer networking. So let us begin. So first we'll start with the wireless networking technology. So in the last class we have stopped at wired networking technology, where we have discussed about, say, the Ethernet cables, coaxial cables, optic fiber cables. Now in wireless networking technology, today we'll go through the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and infrared. So let us begin. First, we'll start with the Bluetooth. So all of you are very much aware about the Bluetooth. Basically, it uses low radio waves to connect electronic devices wirelessly, and this the range of the transmissions are up to, say, 240 meters. So it also depends upon the types of the Bluetooth version we use. So Bluetooth is a communication technology that uses the low power radio waves, as I have said, to connect electronic devices wirelessly. It allows the user to talk and share the information like the voice, music, and radio signals. It establishes a short-range communication between phone, computers, and other network devices. As I have said, that the transmission range may be up to 240 meters. So, and it is mainly used for personal area network. Now, let us go through the next wireless network technology, that is infrared technology. So this is the symbol for the infrared. So this is the short range communication technology, and one of the most disadvantage of this type of technology is that the signals are passed through the straight line, so you have to be within the room. So if you want to share your files using the infrared technology, so if you move to the next room or somewhere else, the wall may obstruct the signal and you may not get the signal, or the signal may be disrupted. So infrared technology is the short range of communication technology that covers approximately, say, 5 meters of distance, and it is used to exchange the information between the computers, cellular telephones, and faxes that are emitted using the infrared waves, and it takes place between only two devices. And as I have already said, that the infrared network signals cannot penetrate through the wall or other obstruction, and it works only in the direct line. The next one is Wi-Fi. So nowadays, this is the commonly used network, and this is the symbol for the Wi-Fi. And the full form of the Wi-Fi is wireless fidelity. The most advantage of Wi-Fi is that it is inexpensive and it can be accessed at the place. Means it can be used at the place where the cables cannot be installed or cannot be connected. So it creates the Wi-Fi local area network that uses the radio waves to send the information. The devices required is the wireless adapter connected to them to capture the Wi-Fi signal. Nowadays, the Wi-Fi has replaced the wired medium completely and can be used to connect to internet anywhere, anytime. But it has a small disadvantage as well, because as compared to the wired network, the Wi-Fi using wireless networks, it may not be strong enough as the wired network. One can connect multiple devices through Wi-Fi. Okay, now let us go through different types of network. So it depends upon the geographical area covered by the network. So depending on the geographical area that is covered by the network, there are various types of computer network worldwide. So let us discuss them one by one. First, we'll start with the personal area network, or what we call it as a PAN. So this kind of networks, it covers a small area, say within the room, about 10 meters, that is about 30 feet. Okay, so this is the diagram of a personal area network, where it can be connected using the headphone Bluetooth, tabs, PDA, laptops, means desktops can be connected through it. It is used for communication among devices, as I have said, using the laptop, mobile phones, and smartphones. Personal area network can either be wired or wireless. We use this network to transfer the files, including the email, calendars, appointment, digital photos, and music. The next is the most commonly used network, that is LAN, or what we call as a local area networks. So this kind of network can be shared within the small area. It can be installed within the small area, such as the room or in the office building. So it is mainly based with, suppose, say 2 to 10 or 15 computers within the building. So this is the block diagram of a local area network, that is LAN. So in LAN, two or more computers and peripheral devices are connected within the small area, such as the office rooms, buildings, or within the campus building. In LAN, computer terminals are physically connected with wires, though we may have a wireless LAN as well. The data transmission speed is slow as compared to the MAN and WAN. Now, since the land is operated in a small area within the building, within the room, within the office, so it can be controlled and administered by a single person, or it may be controlled, or it may be under the administration of the organization as well. Now, the next computer network is the cluster area network, that is CAN, or what we also call it as a, say, a campus area network. So it is much bigger than a LAN, but this type of network, that is the cluster area network, it is smaller than the MAN, that is metropolitan area network. And see, this is the diagram of a campus area network, where within the campus area, where you can have a network between the different buildings or the different blocks within the campus, say, or administration blocks can be connected with the library block, campus mail buildings, science block, means within the building in the campus itself. So as I have already said, the CAN is also known as the campus area network. It is a network comprising a series of small LAN. Suppose, say, a main campus building, so it is one kind of LAN. So if we talk about, say, the administrative block, it is another LAN. So if we talk about the science block, it is another LAN. So all these small LANs connected together, it form a campus area network, though it is smaller than the MAN, that is metropolitan area network. Now next is MAN, or what we call a metropolitan area network. So as the name suggests, metropolitan, so this is a network within the city. Okay, so the network, it is spread far enough within the city. So the best example of the MAN, that is the metropolitan area network, is the cable television network that we have at our home, that covers, suppose, say 10 to 20, maybe more than 100 kilometers of a distance within the city. So MAN is large network as compared to the LAN, and as I have said, it is spread across the city. Since it covers the city, it's named as a metropolitan. So the most common example of the MAN type of network is cable television, the branches of the local banks in the city. These are some of the examples of a metropolitan area network. Now next is WAN, or wide area network. So this is much broader than the MAN. So it covers a huge area, a huge distance, say from one city to another city, one state to another state, maybe from one country to another country. So this is the block diagram of a wide area network. That is the example of the internet. So this kind of network connects two or more computers located at a very far places. They are linked by communication facilities like say telecommunications or a satellite signals. So we cannot use to the cable network as we need to cover a huge area or a huge distance. So we need a telecommunication signals or a satellite signal for this. And the most common example of WAN type of network is the telecom system. The usage of WAN is limited to a very large organizations and government agencies. The main characteristics of WAN is that it requires a public telecommunication media to transfer the data. Now let us go through networking devices. So networking devices are the hardware devices that are used to connect computers or other peripheral devices together in order to share the files or other hardware resources, say printers, fax machines, and scanner. And this kind of devices, they work at different segments at different levels, performing different activities. So let us see different types of networking devices that are used in computer network. First is modem. So the full form of modem is modulator demodulator. That is, it is used to modulate the signal at one place and demodulate the signal at another place. So the modem enables you to connect your computer to the available network connections over the existing telephone line. It converts the digital signal of the computer into analog signal to enable their transmission over phone line. Suppose if you communicate with your friends using a video conferencing, suppose if you want to send your files, transfer the files. So what happen is your signals, that is the signals that we send to the computers, it need to be, we call it as a digital signal, and it need to be converted into the analog signal, because the telephone wires, it can transmit only the analog signal, it cannot transmit the digital signal. So what the modem will do is modem will convert or translate the digital signal into the analog signal so that it can be transmission to via phone line. So at the receiver's end, that is at the next computer, it need to have a modem, because again the analog signal cannot be understood by the computers at that point. So what the modulator will do is, that's what the modem will do is, again modem will convert that analog signal that is sent by through the telephone wires into the digital signal so that the computer understands. So for this purpose, that is to modulate and demodulate the signal, modem is used. That is, at the destination, the receiver, that is the receiving modem further converts the analog signal into the digital signal, as I have said, so that the data can be understood at the receiving end. Now the next one is a hub. So this is the figure of a hub. Now hub is a networking device, and it is used to connect multiple computers and computing devices directly to the network by using a cable. Now each connection, you can see that the connection here, we call this as a port, and the connection are established using the fiber optic cable. Now when a hub receives data at one of its ports, it distributes the data to the other port in the network. Typically, a hub sends all the data it receives to all the connected ports. Now the next networking device is switch. So here this is the image of a switch. Now switch is similar to the hub. It looks like a hub, but the thing is that it contains more ports. So that switch contains many ports than the hub, because sometimes if you need to connect more devices in the network, so in that case you need devices that has more port. So switches contain more port than the hub, and beside that it has a greater performance. In this case we use switches. So when the Network contain a large number of devices. As I've already said, switches are needed instead of hub. Why? Because as we connect more devices into the network, the speed of the network it goes down. So to maintain the flow of the communication, to maintain the speed of the communication, we need a switches. Now what happens in the hub is that whatever the signals or whatever the data it receives, it will just distribute the same data to different devices. But what happens in switches is, in the switches, each and every port are assigned with the address, so they know that which data to be sent in which port. So unlike the hub, switches is aware of the address assigned to each of its port, and it sends the incoming data. Whatever the data that it comes, it will send it only to the intended port. Intended port means the port that are assigned a particular address. Now the next networking device is repeater. So as the name suggests, repeater, these are used to retransmit the signal. The best example of the repeater is the television cable network, where at different places after a particular distance you can see this kind of devices installed, so that again or next cable is attached at the certain points, so that the data can be retransmitted back. So we call this as a repeater. Repeater is the communication devices. It is used to regenerate the signal. Regenerate means retransmit the signal. So what happens is, sometimes when the electronic signals, when they are transmitted through the line, that is the cable line or any kind of media, so it may have some kind of disturbance. So the data may have some kind of obstruction, so that it can have a proper flow, so that a proper amount of data can be transmitted at a time, that is retransmitted. We need a repeater. So as I have said, that the signal tends to distort means may get disturbed when transmitted over the long distances. So repeaters are needed so that the signal can travel long distances with the same strength and even at a higher power. So the next one is a router. So router is the communication device that is used to connect two or more networks, such as say two different LANs, or maybe a LAN and a WAN. So you can go to the block diagram of our routers here. So where it is connecting two different LAN or two different WAN. It plays a vital role in controlling the traffic and keeping the network efficient. Means you can see that in the networks there are lots of data transmission going on. So what happens is that the data may get blocked in the way, it may not get transmitted properly. So what the routers will do, among those huge traffics in the network, it will choose the best possible way or the best route for the data packets to be transmitted at the receiver's end. So in today's video, we have gone through the wireless networking technology, different types of say the computer network and the networking devices that are used in computer network. So this is all in today's video. Thank you, children.